I guess I was very curious initially, like around the ways in which I pick up on other people's energy,
Mm.
or the way that I wasn't managing my energies as best as I could. I also was really intrigued by it because I've been in so many of your spaces before. And I thought, well, they're so incredible. So I want to go further with working with you. Um, and yeah, I think just a deeper dive into myself. As I mentioned to you, I'd hired coaches before, and hadn't been really impressed. I didn't feel that the money I paid had the value in what I was being taught and the work I was doing for myself. So yeah, and this was completely different to that. It was just such good value in
Yeah,
every way.
so glad to hear that. I've done so many bloody courses and spent fortunes and just
Yeah.
myself. And then when I go and sign up for new things, it's just like I get this fear, like, oh, is this going to
Yeah.
be a thing? Like, where I just get mugged off is how I feel, you know?
Same. And it's like that awful feeling when you spend money and you're like, I know I've done it from a fear place as well before, like, oh, if I pay this, I'll get that.
Yeah.
And then, but that's not at all how it works. That's not the exchange
Yeah.
process. So it doesn't work on either end.
Yeah. And it's really awesome with like the spiritual stuff and with like Sharon stuff or these programs.
Mm.
Like sometimes these are also just like planting those seeds, like how we had that conversation back in February, and then it's
Mm.
circle, you were like, bam, like, and it just like landed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Sometimes, yeah, you need that. Well, you do need that seed planted so
Yeah.
that then you can navigate it on your own. And
Mm.
that was some of my biggest takeaways from this program.
Mm. And you're like a real self-starter as well, so it's not like you need much guidance. Like you can just
Yeah,
drop that seed and you'll work it out and be like, right.
exactly, exactly. I suppose the program opened me up to a lot of blocks that I was aware of, but I wasn't consciously working on them. It was like I knew they were there, but I was just pushing them to the side.
Mm.
Like, oh, yeah, I'll be fine. That kind of mentality. Yeah. So, like 100%, it changed the way I witness my blocks. It's something I still think back to all the time now, like from that first reading. And I loved the way you did the reading because it wasn't anything like, oh, this will happen to you in 6 months, or do you know someone starting with the letter T? It was like, this is what's going on in your energy field.
Yeah.
And I loved that aspect of it because everything you said, like there was nothing at all that you said that I felt like that's not true, or I can't see that. Some were stronger than others, yes, but it definitely all resonated with me.
Yeah. And I think that like that's a part of like the empowerment program, because if you can shift those blocks, your future will can massively shift tracks. So
Mm.
you can say, oh, Jade, like if you still carry on your life in the next 6 months, this is probably what I'm going to see for you. But it's like
Mm.
not really getting anything from that, you know, it's far more impactful to be like, fuck, how can I change my life?
Exactly, exactly. And I think when readings are done like that, people fall into this mentality of, oh, well, I'll just wait for it then.
Yeah.
I'll just sit around and hope for the best. But nothing works like that in life. Yeah. And I loved the way that you read in that way, that this is what's going on for you. And it was like, the ownership was on me in order to heal them. You were able to make me aware and plant the seeds, but I knew that I was the one that had to move forward in if I wanted to heal that and continue to heal it.
um so how do you feel about those? So you don't have to go into details about triggers specifically, but from when you first started compared to like now, have you seen any changes, or do you feel different towards your blocks and your triggers? How does that show
Yeah.
up?
huge difference, especially the one in relation to me opening my heart. Like once you pointed that out to me, I've been so aware of it, even aware when I am shutting down. And it's so interesting how my perspective on me being like that has changed, because for so long, I've always been really proud of the fact that I have been able to live somewhat of a non-heartbroken, detached life. And yes, in some ways, it probably has served me. But it hasn't ever allowed me to have a deep connection, be truly vulnerable, and I suppose experience like heartbreak and deep love go hand in hand. So if I want that, then I need to be open to that. So 100%. And I love that we're doing this actually now, because if we'd had this conversation a month ago, even though I was still aware of that block, I don't think I'd moved through it completely by then. It's really just happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that, and definitely like being aware of like what's taking place for me at work, and my energies at work and the energies I'm opening myself up to in my job as well have really changed my perspective on how I want my life to look in my everyday. So it's changed so much for me, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the things you said, because it's the things I remember now that I know were the things I really needed to hear. Like, I feel like it's easy to take notes. It's like you do a course and it's like, or have a reading and you want to get every bit of information down, but you will remember the things you need to know. And I still remember the things you said to me. Yeah.
Is that one thing that you think from the energy management program that was a real aha moment or a big breakthrough for you?
Yeah, I'm probably going to still say like being made aware of my blocks and the things that I was in denial about or unconsciously choosing, and also maintaining your energy, different practices like that, like qigong, meditation, even like the crystal information you gave me around which crystals to have in your space where you sleep, which ones to take out, and like the meditation practices as well, and shutting down your chakras, which is something I still do now when I feel like I'm giving a situation or a person too much energy or unnecessary energy. I just do that. And I do that to protect myself as well. If I'm in an environment where I feel like I can be impacted negatively, then I will do the chakra shutting down. Yeah.
But what would you say is something you resonate with me?
Yeah. I suppose, well, first of all, I want to start by saying that I think, it was the middle of lockdowns last year when I first came to your sound healing. And I have witnessed in that year, just over a year, how much you have evolved as a person in that time. The way that you first ran a space then to now is completely different. And that is an indication of the work and the time you put into yourself and your own growth. I've said it to you 100 times. I'll always say it to you. Your work, your spaces are filled with so much integrity. And I love the way that you have been able as well to set clearer boundaries in the work that you offer, the work that you're able to provide, because I think it's so important when we do this kind of work. It takes a different level of giving to someone else. It's not like you're just doing a day job or serving a customer. It is, you're pulling parts of yourself that you would not give in an everyday experience. And I think that the way that you set boundaries for yourself, and the spaces that you hold are so, yeah, they're filled with so much integrity. And I've worked with a bunch of different people over my life, and everyone definitely has different strengths and skills, but yeah, you definitely have something special about the way that you run spaces, and sharing your own stories, your own work. All of that is what makes, your containers so incredible. And I really, really admire you. I could listen to you talk all the time about the work you do, but all the trainings you do. I find it really incredible.
Yeah, I have to honor Benjamin and Sharon for that, because they're pretty strict and really disciplined, and it's kind of like you either do or you don't, is like their mentality. Like, you either show up or you don't, and that's all right if you don't, but get out of class.
Yeah.
My time. We're not here to like just do nothing.
Yeah.
I've been to Benjamin when I was 22, and I just couldn't handle his disciplines. I couldn't hack it. I was into partying and going out and working in corporate, and I had so much stuff to heal. And he kind of, go off, heal, live your 20s, and then come back when you're ready to really do the work.
and Benjamin's the psychic development, isn't he?
Yeah. And he is awesome. Yeah, I love both of them. Like, the space holding definitely comes from Sharon. And psychic work comes from Benjamin.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just this beautiful like combination of both, because there is so much intuition that comes through when I speak to like you. Like when you sat in circles, like, I can see all of your blocks in your energy field, but I can't say it. It's not my space to say it. You haven't asked. I'll be overstepping. It's not ethical, to be able to be like, oh, this block, you didn't ask me, so I've got no business in saying it. But it's really cool to see how they harmonize. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you, love. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Bye.